Hi guys, this is Robert Rivera with the Trend Trading Academy, and this is the weekly recap. I think this is episode 16 or so. This is the time of the week where I review the trades of the week. This one's going to be pretty quick because I only sent 4 this week. And following this, I'll be going on a holiday for the next week or so, so you won't be hearing from me in the chat room, the classroom. Please address all your questions to the other mentors. If you have any technical difficulties, remember to message management at Trend Trading Academy, Trend Trading management at trendtrading.academy. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me see, which is the screen I want to share. I want to share this screen. All right, let's start with GU. GU was the first trade of the week. And for those of you who are brand new, I'll go ahead and explain this. This is the setup as it is sent every week, and it gives you instructions on how to take it. Again, like Jay says, the more you know, the better you'll be able to know how to take any trade. So even though it says zone break, retest buy, you could possibly take a sell up here. Zone break, retest sell, you could possibly take a buy here. But for the brand new trader, I would prefer if you focus on one specific thing. In this case, the zone break, the retest, and the buy, or the zone break, retest, and the sell. Of course, the trend line is also there in case price continues to be on this wedge and gives you an early entry for a buy. Let's see what happened on this particular trade. Okay, so what we have basically is instead of breaking the bottom, it went and broke the top. We don't have an actual retest on this one. It climbed the zone past the trend line as we had it, and it retested, but it retested on the R1. I guess that's really it. It retested on the R1. That's where it paused. It didn't pause before. They didn't come back to give us an entry for a retest, which I do prefer the new traders to take only the retest. So this one went for 72 pips. We'll break and no retest. You could have perhaps seen it, and for those of you who are studying how to take it from the 50 moving average, this is the break of the 50 and the retest of the 50. So there was a break and retest on the 50. It just wasn't one on the zone. So again, for those of you who are interested in getting an early entry is usually at the 50 moving average, okay? That was the first trade of the week. That was GU. The next day, sent out a GCAT. GCAT looked very nice. This is a beautiful setup. Can't get any cleaner than this. Very clean trend line, very clean consolidation, very tight zone for breakout. This is perfect. This is how we want to see it. And let's see what we got. Okay, so we had an attempt at break at the top, rejection. This is why, again, I prefer you guys to wait for the actual close. This is an easy fake out. 3 times here. Went up, came down, went up, came down, went up, came down, and then eventually just broke down to the bottom. This one in particular did break here for 22 pips with no retest. Gave a nice little morning star for a buy if you're looking at candlestick patterns, but that's not something that I want, again, new traders to focus on. The easiest way to learn how price action moves is to pay attention to how it reacts at the zones. The reason why price has a hard time breaking to the bottom or breaking to the top is because the consensus of buyers and sellers is that this is the price for now. Okay, when there is an imbalance of buyers and sellers, like in this case, the sellers took over, it's when basically the sellers agree that this is a sell and the buyers quit buying. So in this case, it came down for 60 pips, no retest. Notice how it bounced at the 61.8 and also the trend line and jump back up. That could have been an entry for people looking for an opportunity like that. And again, that's for a little more advanced traders. In this case, the breakout again gave out 60 pips. Let's see. Okay, then we got GCAT the next day again. I like GCAT. GCAT moves pretty predictable as far as I'm concerned. Is this the same setup? It almost looks like the same setup, but no. This was the win from the day before, and we're taking that into account for the new setup. Again, price return, basically a return to the zone. I adjusted the zone a little bit to include the wicks down here, and now we're waiting again for the breakout. This is what we ended up with. We ended up with a break, a nice retest, very clear retest. That's the kind of thing we like to see, even though I like to see it deeper. This is still very clear. And if you didn't catch it there, you could have caught the break of the trend line. Either way, that's 75 pips with a retest, nice retest, and zero drawdown. If you didn't catch that one, this is that preferred wick that I like to see it come back all the way up, and then wick, 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 wick. Notice how, again, once it broke the 50, it stayed below the 50. And once it came back to the 50, it retested the 50 and dropped again. Again, the importance of the 50 moving average into the equation of our setups is very important. So if you caught this one, that would have been 52 pips, this one's 75. All right, and then the last trade of the week was also GU, basically focus on GU and GCAT all week, and I took gold also. Worth noting how this GU again came back down the day before and kissed the golden zone, retested it and went back up, and now it is ranging once again. The kind of thing that we like to see, this consolidation. Look, notice again where the 50 is, and let's see what price did with that 50. I'm not sure what happened. I can't remember. Let's see what happened. It broke the 50 and retested it and dropped. Okay. Here's the retest of the zone, which was kind of controversial. I had some people questioning whether that was a retest or not. Guys, that's a retest. All I have to do is, again, remember that the market doesn't come with these lines in place. I put those lines there based on my analysis. Could this line have been lower? This line could have been lower to encompass this closing over here, perhaps, and then that would have been a much clearer retest. Regardless, it is a retest. Okay, it is a retest. Price came back up, rejected, and dropped for 42 pips. If you took it from right there on the retest, then it's 34 pips. But the breakout gave 42, okay? And then it climbed back up. Once it climbed above the 50, okay, all of this could have been considered a retest of the 50. It broke out. This is the breakout. That's the retest. It seems like it's gonna be a failed retest because it came back in. All of this was a total drawdown of 17 pips. And then finally, it gave us 30 pips to the upside. I did mention to someone, because they were asking me, they asked me way back before, okay, I think they had a 20 pip stop loss down here. My suggestion was to make the stop loss at the 50. The 50 is that important. In other words, not at the 50, but if anything that closes below the 50. That was my commentary. Anything that closes below the 50. And in fact, it tested. This is the thing that came the closest to closing below the 50. It didn't, and then it jumped back up for 30 pips. Okay, that should help you a little bit in seeing how price action works and how, well, I mean, this is a static screen, so it doesn't really help you. This is after the fact. But in going back to seeing how price action works, this is what we're looking at. And when it is happening, this is what we're looking at. We're looking for, in this case, for example, it broke down below the 50, it retested it and dropped. Okay, now it came back above the 50, okay, proving that it wants to go bullish, and it broke. It gave us a retest candle. Okay, we enter, and now we wait. I mean, obviously, we have to endure all this, which is not fun. It usually doesn't have to happen this way, but in this case, we had to wait quite a bit of time, and then it finally broke to the top side for 30 pips. Again, price action here telling me that it's not going below the 50. I'm good. All right, so those are the trades of the week. That was a total of 4 setups. They gave 6 trades. The pip total was 300 pips. That accounts to about 50 pips per trade. That's been pretty consistent. We had 3 trades that had no retest. We have 3 trades that had retest. Those 3 retests had a 17 pip drawdown and gave 147 pips after the retest. Not too bad. Let's look at the bigger picture now. Let's see. I'm trying to get this video done quickly. Let's go ahead and stop sharing this, and we'll share the other screen. That one. Okay. This is a review now of the bigger picture of what perhaps we can be anticipating for next week. Let's start with GN. GN, we've been watching GN for quite a bit because we're anticipating that this channel is going to give us an opportunity for a swing. Now, this is what we saw, by the way. Let me see. This is the weekly. It's retested now twice here on the trend line, and now it caught up with the 100. I think this is the 100 or the 200 moving average. Can't remember which one it is. Let's check it real quick. It's the 200 moving average. Okay, which is an important one in the market. On a big picture like this, on the weekly, 200 is an important moving average. So I retested on it and jumped back up. I want you to see the daily. This is what I want you to see on this one. All right. We've been watching it to see if it closed above the 50, above the 20, because it's been testing. It hadn't been above the 20 since April the 15th or something like that. So we were watching it for the break of the 50, perhaps as a signal that it's in reversal. So it tested it once, tested it twice, tested it 3 times, tested it 4 times, tested it again, dropped, tested it and broke above it just barely, dropped down again. This one broke above successfully, came back down again, came back down further down to retest the trend line. Now this candle broke the 20 and the next one retested it. Okay, I think we are in for a buy situation, and it also broke and closed above this resistance, all right, that I had marked there for quite a while back. So we're looking at potentially now on the daily from here. I would love to see a retest of this zone right here for about 180 pips, all right? That's just an idea of what may be happening there on the daily. But the bigger picture, obviously, as I mentioned before, the bigger picture is the channel, right? The possibility of catching a big move. As Joe says in teaching swing trading, what we're looking for is a pattern of creating higher highs, which we have it now. We have the higher highs, right? Higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so this was a lower low. This is a higher low. That's a higher low. And that's even a higher low. Even though it came back down and retested, all the closings are in a bullish move now. That's one of the things that we're looking for. We're also looking for it to be breaking levels. Okay, well, it broke this level right here. The next level is going to be up here, and on and on and on. So I think once again, it climbs the 50 on the daily. It's big time go time. In the meantime, we can catch it between here and the 50 for at least 180 pips. Okay, let's see, GCAT. GCAT, give me GCAT. GCAT has been in this wedge formation for quite a long time. And now we may be looking at a bullish situation here because it broke the wedge, right? It broke the wedge, retested the 50, and broke the wedge again, okay? Broke the wedge, broke the 50, broke the wedge, broke resistance, closed above, came back, retested, closed within the zone, and broke back up, okay? So now we are looking at, I think it's bullish, seems to me that it's bullish, with a potential to the next zone of 400 pips. Let's see real quick. Actually 230 pips to the next zone and 200 more after that, all right? So that's the bigger picture for GCAT. Moving right along. I'm gonna leave gold for last because that was pretty exciting. GU. We've been watching this GU trend line for a long time. This one I have on the bodies. It just makes more sense to me. Body, retest wick. That makes more sense to me. And we have support. It broke support in the previous weeks. Now look at it again. Yes, it broke back above support, retested the 8 exponential, and broke up pretty strongly this week. So again, that looks bullish. And from there to the trend line, it's about 200 pips or so. Could it wiggle here before it goes all the way up there? Yes, it could wiggle somewhere down here. But again, looking at it from the big picture, it's broken the 50 on the weekly. That's powerful. And it is above all trend lines on the daily. I think that is a clear bullish situation, all right? If you want to make it a little clearer, you can put a trend line and you can see, since we have a new high, that is what it's looking like now, all right? So that looks pretty good. That looks pretty bullish. It looks to me like GBPs are bullish. And then finally, gold. I've been talking about this gold for quite a long time. I've been saying this is going to 1900 since, 2 or 3 weeks ago. And so sure enough, guys, it broke the resistance from last week at 1810 and now is at 1901. 1921, this one right here, 1921 is the highest high from like ever. That is 2011, I believe. That high is from 2011. So getting into gold right now is not advisable. That's all I can tell you. Perhaps you take a sell when it touches 1920, 1921. Perhaps you could take a sell. But if it breaks 1920 and retests 1920, who knows what the limit is for that. I think it will be safe to take a sell again at 1920, 1921. Yeah, 1920. What is that? 1920. Yeah, 1920. I think it will be safe to catch a sell up there. Catching a buy right now on gold is super dangerous. Super, super dangerous. Look how extended it is from the trend line, how extended it is from the 50, the 20, and even the 8. Even the 8 exponential, it is super extended. Not worth getting into a buy here. Perhaps again, if it breaks that 1920 and retests, then perhaps. But more likely, the best scenario for this is shorting it once it gets to 1920. And that's all I got. Again, I hope that you found this helpful. And I'm going to be taking off some time now until next week. So I hope that you guys keep it tight. Make sure to secure your profits. I'll be trading, by the way. I'll be trading. There will not be a class on Monday. I will not be in class on Monday. So I'll give you the heads up now. But I'll be probably trading at night, and you may see a commentary here and there. If you ask me a question, though, you're probably not going to get an answer until I come back August 1st or so. All right. Take care, guys. Again, this is Robert Rivera with Turn Trading Academy. God bless you guys. Bye.